during the RuneFest summit, Jagex announced Yama, the Master of Pacts, an endgame duo boss fight that should be coming pretty soon here, this spring 2025. And the crowd had a kind of awkward reaction to it, probably because most of them had the same question. Who is Yama? Like, they've told us like we're supposed to know who this is, but honestly, it's kind of a miss on me. I at least had to go back and look and check, and of course, Yama has been in the game for a while now. We don't really know much about him besides the fact he's some sort of demon king, because while there's been mentions of him, he obviously isn't in the game yet. So if you needed a refresh on your memory just like I did, let's go back and look at how Yama was actually introduced to the player in-game. During the quest of Queen of Thieves, the player learns that Counselor Hughes is secretly linked to a cult known as the Disciples of Yama. The information is given to her by Lady Shauna Piscarillis. She accuses the whole council of being corrupt and tasks the player with finding evidence by breaking into Hughes' home. In her home, the player finds a letter that reads, "Child of Yama, I have left the items you requested at the usual drop-off, courtesy of the Karen Treasury. It goes without saying, but I will trust you make our master aware of who is funding his return. Regards, Sophia Hughes." The player then goes back and presents this evidence to Thomas Lowry, and Sophia Hughes is locked up. She's put in jail. That's nice and tidy done, and we hope that the cult and their ties to the council are severed there and move about our business. Sometime later, the quest of Kingdom Divided starts with Sophia Hughes escaping from prison. The player searches for her around Karen. He checks the farming guild, but more obviously, he checks the home of the Disciples of Yama, which is the Chasm of Fire. We'll come back here in a little bit. But during our visit there, we asked the Disciple of Yama, hey, has Sophia Hughes come by at all? The Disciple says that actually they're looking for her too, and that he's welcome to go in and check. It's just that Sophia Hughes no longer has a place at the Chasm, and it's left at that. Eventually, she's confronted by the player on the docks where, kind of back against a wall, she casts a spell to summon a demon known as the Judge of Yama. Yama? I've probably said it a couple different ways this whole time. The demon is summoned and he says, "Sophia Hughes, you have called upon me. Those that oppose you will be judged in the name of Yama. But know this, Sophia Hughes, those that call upon the judge must first be judged themselves. You have betrayed the trust of Yama, Sophia Hughes. You have used the generosity to your own advantage. For this, your life is forfeit. Serve your master one last time. Bathe yourself in a sea of fire. Bathe yourself in a sea of blood." No way! And the Judge of Yama burns Sophia Hughes to a crisp. Unlucky. That just leaves the player to deal with the Judge of Yama, which, if you remember, was not too difficult. Boom, done, dealt with. We don't care about Yama anymore. The judge is defeated. Let's get out of here. Just kidding. Later, when we come back to Piscarillis with the request that their leader sign the Royal Twill, a document which would replace the council's power in Karen with a new leader, Lady Shauna Piscarillis, I'm sorry, I've been saying that wrong, huh? Lady Shauna Piscarillis insults the player and says, "You haven't really taken care of the problem. The Disciples of Yama are a big problem. You need to go deal with them." Player says, "Okay, what do I do? Go kill Yama?" And Shauna Piscarillis says, "No, because Yama is not in the game yet. But his followers do have some kind of connection to him, so if you can remove that connection, then he will no longer be able to communicate with them." How are we going to do that, the player asks? Well, let's go talk to Mori, a mage in Arceus. Oh, I hate this place. Mori, thankful for your help during the quest The Ascent of Arqua, opts to share her research with you on the Disciples of Yama. She says that their leader, Yama, is a bit of a mystery. He's a demon of some sort, but doesn't have any actual presence in Karen yet. In fact, until recently, he had no connection to the cult. So the Disciples of Yama once had no connection to Yama? Yeah, they were known as the Disciples of Chaos, and they were just a small Zamorakian cult of little note. It sounds like Yama began to communicate with these followers through another demon known as the Voice of Yama. Let's go back to the Chasm of Fire now and go check out the Voice of Yama. He's an ox-headed demon, and he's found in the center of the bottom level. If you talk to him, he tells you that your presence disgusts him, and he tells you he's the Voice of Yama. When the player asks why can't Yama speak for himself, he says, "Currently my master resides below us, building strength. Worry not, human, my master will eventually own your soul too." And that's about it. I'm pretty sure that this dialogue has existed since the quest Kingdom Divided came out, which by the way was in 2021, so 4 years ago. Which means they've been planning on adding Yama to the game for a very long time. I'm not sure why they're just getting around to it. I mean, actually, there's this entry from Postbag from the Swamp, which is like a RuneScape newsletter that's in-game. Yeah, this was released in 2021. Basically, there's like letters written to the NPCs, and the NPCs respond. A lot of people don't even know this exists. But anyways, the message pretty much just says, hey, you're a Minotaur, correct? And the voice of Yama is like, you fool, I am not a Minotaur. I am a mighty demon with a Minotaur's head. It's a subtle difference, okay? Also, something I haven't mentioned yet is that at some point, if you talk to a disciple of Yama, they tell you about their initiation ritual, which includes the head of an ox, bruma roots, lots of fire, and human sacrifice. During the ritual, they're demanded to stare into the fire until they see enlightenment, which essentially just blinds them. So everyone in the cult is blind as well. Anyway, Mori suggests that to cut off communication between the disciples and Yama, we can use a device similar to the one in the Ascent of Arceus. They can basically re-engineer whatever was blocking the power of the Dark Altar and use it to block the power of the voice of Yama from reaching his boy. You both MacGyver together some dark essence and molten glass, and then Mori gives you the dark nullifier and tells you to hide it somewhere in the chasm. Chasm? It's chasm, jeez. The player goes and enters the chasm and is immediately greeted by a disciple of Yama who says, our master foresaw your arrival, and you even brought the device. How wonderful. The player is a bit confused, like wondering how they know about it, and suddenly feels very tired. Disciple of Yama says, you look like you need a rest. Here, lie down. The player's eyes close and they wake up in the forest. I'm not really sure why they thought that was chill, but they say, well, that's the device hidden. Those disciples of Yama shouldn't be a problem anymore. I better go let Miss Piscarilius know. I don't really understand that. I don't really understand how he's cool with that ending. But there you go, cliffhanger 4 years in the making. That's pretty much all we know about Yama in-game so far. What we know is coming is that obviously they will be in the Chasm of Fire on the floor below the current bottom floor, and I think Jagex said that this whole space is getting a makeover. I just don't know if that is coming during the same update or if it's coming at a later date. This whole thing is set to release in spring 2025, which the clock is ticking on that. That's any week now. I'm filming this during March. We know that it's an endgame duo encounter and that they're gonna be using a contract system to allow players to basically set the difficulty of the encounter. I'm sure the TOA people are gonna love that. And of course, there's the new melee armor, the Oath Plate armor, which is gonna be forged with some kind of rock, so I'm sure there will be an area and NPCs to talk to that can give some more lore about the armor. I don't think Jagex has said that there's a quest coming with all of this, but I would love to see one. Either way, I'm just hoping that they do add some NPCs with some dialogue that gives Yama a little more life, you know? It would be nice to hear a little bit of backstory on him. I also gotta give an honorable mention to the new special weapon that's coming. I'm really excited to see how this can change some of the strategies in a lot of the duo encounters and team encounters in general. That's pretty much it. I hope you're caught up now on what we know about Yama and that you're as excited as I am to see him come into the game. If you're one of my returning viewers, you may have noticed I haven't posted a video in a long time. These videos just take a lot of research and effort, and I kind of ran out of time to do it, but I'm hoping to get back into it. I really just want to say, I know 1,000 subscribers, but I haven't uploaded a video since I got it, so thank you guys for your support. I know when I do finish a video, I am proud to see you guys react to it and leave your nice comments. So yeah, thank you guys for joining me on this, and I'll see you next time.